How many times have you been live on stage playing a pad, you get to the end of your track, hit stop, and this happens? Hey, I'm Will Doggett, Ableton Live certified trainer, founder of From Studio to Stage. Today I'm going to show you how you can set up Ableton Live so that when you hit stop, it doesn't kill your pad sound. So let's get started. Welcome to From Studio to Stage, where every Friday we post a brand new tutorial showing you how to use Ableton Live on stage. Today's tutorial is brought to you by Oyen Digital. If you use your computer to make music, you need a high-performance, rock-solid hard drive, and that's what Oyen Digital does. Their Mobius line of hard drives are excellent solutions for musicians looking for a desktop storage solution to safely store and back up their files. With capacities from 6 terabytes all the way up to 24 terabytes, the ability to use SSD and HDD drives, and configurable RAID options, Mobius drives are the perfect place to safely store your work. To get 15% off any Mobius hard drive, head to oyendigital.com and use the code Mobius15. That's OYEN digital.com and use the code Mobius15. Thanks to Oyen Digital for your support of From Studio to Stage. So this is actually pretty easy to set up, but first let me show you exactly what's happening. So whenever we press stop in Ableton Live, it sends a MIDI note that says all notes off. That basically means kill all the audio. It's kind of like if you've ever had an external MIDI controller that had a MIDI panic button. When you press that, it kills all possible MIDI so that there's not a MIDI feedback loop. Now this is great if you're in the studio and you don't want to get into a situation where things feed back on themselves, but in a live situation when you're playing pads, it is not good. So this is actually a pretty simple thing to set up. Let me show you how. What we want to do is stop pressing spacebar to stop our track and make sure that whatever stop on our MIDI controller is set to is not actually assigned to the stop function in Live's transport. And what we want to do is replace that with a stop locator if we're in arrangement view or a stop scene if we're in session view. Let me show you how to do this in arrangement view. Again, super easy to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a locator towards the end of my set here. Okay, so let's go ahead and add locator, and we're going to call this stop. So I'm going to go to the key map mode, which is Command K, click on that locator and press 0, which is basically going to function as my stop for now. Then I want to set it up so that at the beginning of my song, I can press 1 at any point and jump there. So I'm going to click that and press 1. So now what we have is we get out of the song. Okay, and I can play my pad sound. I'm going to press 0 to jump to the end of the arrangement, and you see that that's playing. Because there's nothing after it, I don't have to worry about anything conflicting. I still have my pad going. Now let me press 1, and that's going to jump me back to the beginning of my arrangement. You'll hear our sidechain track come in, right? And we have a perfectly flawless, seamless transition. Now, if for some reason I need to jump later to the song or stop my tracks, again, I can press 0. That's going to jump me to that stop track, and I have pad going. Super easy to do. Now, one way to make this change happen even faster is to add a time signature change here and change our time signature to 1/4. And what that means is if our global quantization is still set to 1 bar, then as I'm playing the pad, every basic bar is 1 beat. So as soon as I press 1, it immediately triggers, right? So it's going to be a really quick transition as opposed to waiting those 4 measures. Now, what if you're doing this in session view? Let me show you how to make that happen. I'm going to drop to the end of my set, and this is scene 36. I'm going to rename this stop. And then all I'm going to do is do Command K again, and I want to map this to 0. So now let's press 1. You hear that song section going? When I'm ready to stop, instead of pressing spacebar, I'm going to press 0. Okay, it selects that scene, it kills everything. You notice that transport is still going, so whenever I'm ready to move on, I can press 2 and jump back. Again, instead of pressing stop, hit 0. Now, to make the transition faster out of stop back into the track, similar to what we talked about in arrangement view, I can go in and add 1/4 for my time signature. Now that my time signature is set to 1/4, it means it's going to quickly transition to the next song. So let's press 2, we'll trigger that. The end of this, we go to 0, and now that's just running. And as soon as I press my next section, let's go to 1. that's going to trigger that almost immediately. And again, 0 to stop. So if you're interested in learning more about how to use Ableton Live for tracks on stage, make sure to head to FromStudioToStage.com and start a free 7-day trial. When you do that, you're going to get access to every single course in the catalog for one price. You're going to get access to the community of like-minded performers that are trying to learn how to use Ableton Live on stage. And then finally, you'll get a monthly call where we all come together and I answer any questions you have and also kind of show you what I've been working on with Ableton Live. Again, you can go and start a free 7-day trial now to see what it's all about. So thanks so much for joining me and hope to see you next time. Take care. Bye.